So we're going to start introducing more Course in Miracles style releases in special sessions coming up in October, release to results. And so we're going to do a little release today. So it's said in the Sedona method book that all thoughts are resistance. Resistance to what? Perhaps with feeling energy. And if every thought is on a frequency, every thought is a vibration, could we go behind the thoughts and release that energy, that vibration? The Course in Miracles workbook lesson 4 says these thoughts do not mean anything. They don't mean anything. So let's take some of these thoughts and release on the energy. Ignore any sense that they're important or mean anything. Release, and maybe we'll never have those thoughts again. Maybe we will. Let's give it a try. Could you bring to mind something you've been thinking about? You might have been thinking about something while I was talking. So what's a recurring thought or a thought that you could become aware of right now? And is there any sense that it's important or means anything? Any at all? And could you go behind the mind, the words, the pictures, the thoughts, and notice any energy that's there? Could you make that feeling your focus and feel it more? And could you allow this thought not to mean anything? Release the energy that the thought form connected with. Would you release it if you could? And then simply notice if you can even bring that thought to mind again. Is it still there? If it is, keep working with it. Otherwise, what's something you've been recurringly thinking about? What's a thought that's been coming up again and again? Or just a thought that's here? And could you notice if it seems like it's important or means anything? And that's okay. Without making right or wrong of it, could you go behind the dialogue and notice the energy? Could you make that feeling bigger, that energy bigger, and ignore the words and pictures, the thoughts, focusing on the feeling? And could you let go of any sense of importance of this thought, any sense that the thought means anything? Would you let go of that energy and that thought stream, that thought cycle. When? And just noticing that thought's still there. Has it shifted? Has it lightened? And you could continue working with that thought, or what's some negative, pestering thought that's been coming up for you, or any thought. Oh, yeah, I have this one every day. And could you go into that thought? Just looking at it, noticing it. There's these words, and that's okay. Maybe some images that go with it. That's okay. Without making right or wrong of the thought, could you notice if there's any sense of importance? Any sense that it means something? And could you go to the feeling behind the thought, the feeling that comes with that thought, or that thought is attracted to? Could you make that thought energy bigger? The feeling that thought shows up when you're feeling, could you feel it more? And could you surrender any importance or meaning of that thought?
Yeah.
Would you surrender if you could?
Yes.
And just noticing any shift, if that thought is even there anymore. What is one of those thoughts? Seems to come up again and again. Could be the same one if it's still there. Something about money, a person you're close to, your body, something going on with it. What's a thought that you've been thinking? And without making good or bad of it, you just notice if there's any sense that it means something that's valuable or important. And could you allow the words and pictures to drift by or be there without focusing on them? And focus on the energy. Welcome the feeling that's there for you. Could you feel that bigger? Could you let the energy flow, ignoring the words and pictures. And just for now, could you release any sense of this thought meaning anything or being important? Release the energy. Would you release it if you could? When could you release it? Now, later, never?
Yeah.
Anytime's fine. And is that thought still showing up? Or has it gone? And day by day, thousands of thoughts. You can't really stop them. They just come up uninvited constantly. What's one of those uninvited thoughts that just shows up for you again and again? Maybe a negative one. And does it seem like that thought means something or is important? Or did it seem like that before? And without judging or moralizing about what's coming up, could you allow it up? Ignore the sequencing of words, the movie or pictures, and allow the feeling, the energy. And could you turn that feeling up? Let the energy arise. Could you simply notice what it feels like? That feeling that this thought flows to again and again. And you have a choice. Could you let it go? Let go of placing any value or importance on this thought? Would you let go of that energy and all the thoughts that are magnetized to it? When could you? And as you go through your day, through your night, could you just notice if the thought stream is taking you, your focus, washing you away, or if you're choosing what you're thinking about, focusing on, or just your presence, free of thought. Course in Miracles, Lesson 4 suggests these thoughts do not mean anything. If they don't mean anything, there's something else you could do besides think.